Welcome to the Student Organizations Advisor Training for the 2020-2021 academic year. This training is for advisors of Tempe student organizations. If you're an advisor for clubs on multiple campuses, please email tempeclubs@asu.edu so we can make sure that your training counts for all campuses you work on. In the Canvas page, you'll be able to find various resources in this module. You'll be able to find a page with all of the links used in this presentation. You can also find a copy of the PowerPoint presentation if you would like to go back and review this material. To stay up to date with everything happening with the Student Orgs and Leadership Office, check our regular newsletters to all student organization advisors and club officers. We also host monthly meetings with advisors during the academic year with updates and additional trainings. You can find information about ASU's response to COVID-19 and additional information and resources at the link provided here. Advisors serve as a bridge between the university and student organizations to create a cohesive experience both inside and outside of the classroom. In this role, experienced faculty and staff members will mentor student leaders, collaborate with colleagues, and connect with students that share similar passions and interests. Advisors play an active role in guiding students in their pursuit of leadership development and in their effort to positively impact the overall well-being of those they serve. The primary club advisor is to create a cohesive and holistic experience that transcends the classroom by connecting the university's learning experience with student organizations and clubs. The primary advisor should attend club meetings as determined by the club advisor and the officers. They should support club officers by planning, executing, and attending any event that meets the requirements outlined in the special event registry. Primary advisors are faculty members that have 2+ years of experience at ASU. Faculty members in the roles of clinical professor, associate professor, assistant professor, lecturer, principal lecturer, and senior lecturer are eligible to be primary advisors. ASU staff members with 3 or more years of experience supporting students in a face-to-face role are qualified to be primary advisors as well. Secondary advisors would be faculty with less than 2 years of experience or in roles such as research position or instructor, graduate student positions, and ASU staff with less than 3 years of student support experience. Registration Part 2 is a form that needs to be completed by the advisor. During the summer of 2020, this form was sent to all advisors. If your club registered after the deadline, the form should be sent to you once the registration is approved. For clubs registered in spring 2020, this form needs to be completed by September 30th. If you are the advisor of a new club, you will need to complete this form and the training within 2 weeks of the club being approved for registration. If you did not receive the form or cannot find the link, it will be included in the resource document that is in the Canvas module. Why should you be an advisor for a student organization? In this part of the presentation, we ask our advisors to share why they choose to be an advisor for a student organization. Since you are completing this course online, take some time to reflect on the reasons you choose to engage in the advisor role. How does this contribute to your own professional and personal goals? What are you hoping to get out of this role in the upcoming year? Take a few minutes. You can write something down, type it on the screen, or just kind of keep it in your memory. As an advisor, there are 4 key roles you can bring to the organization. Consult. Help guide your students through the event planning process and any other processes they are taking a part of during the academic year. Inform. As an advisor, you may be in your role for a longer period of time than the officers have been in their role. You can provide some history and context for the student organization. Lead. Coach and mentor students into being effective leaders and helping with policy interpretation, conflict, and crisis intervention. Support. Think about ways that you can support your students in helping them achieve new challenges and taking on new roles. So what should you expect as a student organization advisor? You will want to schedule regular meetings with your officers. You'll want to be familiar with the organization's constitution and our student organization handbook so that you can help advise and support students through those documents. You need to complete all required training, such as the training you're doing now, and attend any additional workshops that you're able to learn more about how you can support your organization. Communicate. You should be available and regularly communicate with your members and especially your officers of your organization. How can you help them achieve goals, inform them about campus resources, and be present when necessary? As an advisor, you are required to report crimes that fall under the Clery Act. Because of your role working with students and events on and off campus, you will need to complete an additional training to understand your role in reporting. You should have received a notification about being added to the Canvas course Clery Campus Security Authority, and you should be able to find this training in your Canvas course. There are instructions for how to complete the training in the document in the Advisor Training Canvas module. If you did not receive a notification about the course, please check the instructions for further information. Next, we are going to jump into Sun Devil Sync to go over some of the tools you may use as an advisor. So on Sun Devil Sync, this will be your home page. We're going to first look at the two different views that you should have as an advisor of your organization, and these are the views that your officers should also have. The first is the Explore view. So the Explore view is what students will see when they are just looking for student organizations to join or looking for events to attend. So they can search on this main page, or they can go onto events and search for specific events, or go to organizations and search for specific organizations. If they do find an organization they're interested in, they can click on that organization and they will see this page that has the contact information, the summary of the organization, any upcoming events, and the list of officers and advisors. If you are the advisor or the officer of the organization, you should have manage access. So you can get to that by two different ways. So either clicking on the manage organization when you're on the page of the organization in the Explore view, and it will take you into the manage, or by clicking on this button up here and you will have the manage view here. You won't have the admin view. That is the view for our campus administrators, so our staff in the student engagement office, but you will have the manage view. So if you click on that, you'll have this section here that says My Memberships. And so just the organizations you are in will show up there, and you will go to the page of the organization. I'm going to use our test page. So here you'll just see the basic information about your organization. And to see all of the different organization tools, you'll have to click on this bar right here. So these are the organization tools, and this is how you can get a lot of things done in managing your organization. So the first one we're going to look at is the roster. So you'll just click on roster. This is where you can add members to your organization by clicking invite, and you will just list the email addresses of the people you would like to add. And then you can also put them into specific positions. You can create new position titles. So our titles are automatically Officer 1, 2, and 3, but you can change the name of them by just clicking on Manage Positions, and then you can find the position you want to change the name of, and you can write that in, and then you'll see that is reflected on your roster. You can also create new position titles if you want a completely new position added. You can also assign people to different positions, so you can select this pencil tool, and then you'd be able to select what position you want to put them in. This is especially helpful if you have new officers and at the end of the year, so making sure that you know how to do this in case your students don't. So we're going to go back and look at some of the other organization tools. So you'll have to click here again, and you can see some of the other tools. So the next tool we're going to talk about is the Abouts page. So this might be where you can update the description. You can update if you want to list weekly meetings. You can also add a video. So you just need to put a URL to the YouTube video that you want to add, and then it will automatically show up on your page when students are looking at it from the Explore view. You can also update contact information, and you can also update your profile picture here. Students won't be able to edit their official name in Sun Devil Sync, but if you are interested in editing your name, you can reach out to our office at tempeadvisors@asu.edu and we can edit the name for you. So there's some other tools that would be important for students to know about, and we actually have some videos online that will be linked in the resource document about how to use the different organization tools. So there's the events tool, the documents, the forms, and the elections, and we'll cover information on those in different resources. So make sure that if students do have any questions, they can look at that or reach out to our office at tempeclubs@asu.edu. As an advisor, you should help consult your organization in following the Student Code of Conduct. It is important to remember that for student organizations and all students, the Code of Conduct applies anytime and anywhere. So if they are hosting an event on or off campus, the same set of rules apply. Here are 4 parts of the Code of Conduct that we want to make sure you are aware of as a student organization advisor. F11, disrupting university-sponsored events. When planning events or demonstrations, organizations need to be aware that they cannot disrupt events on campus. So this would be they can't disrupt classes and they can't disrupt university-sponsored events. A lot of spaces on campus that they may reserve will have noise limitations for certain parts of the day when classes are commonly happening. F12, misrepresenting organizations or self as an official university agent. Student organizations must make clear when working with outside partners that they are a student-run organization and not an official entity of the university. F19, engaging, promoting, supporting, or sponsoring hazing. All of our student organizations should be open and inclusive spaces for students, and hazing is absolutely not allowed. F12, engaging in discriminatory activities, including harassment and retaliation. This is why we include our non-discrimination statement in all student organizations' constitutions. We want to make sure that all student organizations are an open place for our students to participate and learn and grow. At ASU, we have free speech on campus. Student organizations are able to speak freely and invite guests onto the campus. If you are having a student demonstration or bringing in speakers, please connect with us so that we can help make sure that you are following the best practices in student organization demonstrations. You can reach out to us at tempeadvisors@asu.edu. As a registered student organization, you're able to book reservations in certain areas on campus. The Sun Devil Fitness Complex allows student organizations to book rooms on any of their campuses. You can click on this link to see the different locations that are available and make a request. You can also reach out to the staff member at the specific campus you are looking to connect with. Students can book classrooms by emailing rooms@asu.edu. They'll set you up with an account where they will be able to reserve rooms online. Catering is also available on each campus for events. You can contact the catering office for the campus that you are looking to host your event on. There are also specific places on each campus that student organizations can book free reservations. At the Tempe campus, students can request reservations at the Memorial Union and at the Student Pavilion. They can also request outdoor locations outside of the Memorial Union, Student Pavilion, and on the Student Services lawn. These links will show you how to request those spaces. Student organizations could also request spaces at the downtown, West, and Poly campuses. As an advisor, you may be helping plan events for your organization. Make sure that you are planning ahead. Look at the ASU calendar to find dates that will work for your event and avoid cross-programming with major events on campus. Collaborate. Think about what ways you can collaborate with other organizations to fit the theme of your event. And make sure you're connecting with our office and other offices on campus if you need help with event feasibility, resources, inclusivity, and accessibility. We are happy to help with the planning process, and if you're bringing speakers, we can assist with some of those best practices. Undergraduate student organizations are eligible to apply for funding through the Undergraduate Student Government, or USG. There are 2 different types of funding through USG. There is general funding, which can cover marketing materials and other needs a club may have throughout the semester. Groups can request up to $600 for general funding and will need to have an itemized list of what they plan to buy with that funding. Funding requests will close 4 weeks after the semester begins. So for fall 2020, funding requests will close on September 10th. Event funding will cover the needs of a specific event an organization is hosting. You must request event funding at least 21 days in advance, but we highly recommend you doing it as early as possible. There's no minimum for event funding, but if you are requesting over $2,000, you will need to apply even earlier than 3 weeks ahead of time. You can find all of the information on this on the USG website that is linked here. In order to apply for funding, student organizations will need to complete the appropriations training. This needs to be completed by the student leader who will be applying for funding, and it will go over the application process and what the specific requirements are. This can be completed on Canvas at the link here, and there will also be Zoom and in-person trainings throughout the year. If there are any questions, please contact USG directly at usg@asu.edu. If an organization is focused on graduate students and is hosting an event for graduate students, they may apply for GPSA funding. GPSA funding supports up to $2,000 per event for student organizations. These requests are due by the first of the month before the event is scheduled. So if an event is scheduled for October 15th, the request will need to be in by September 1st. You can find more information on their website, and you can contact GPSA at gpsa@asu.edu. Student organizations may bring in additional funding. Some common ways they may do this is through membership dues, fundraising, sponsorship and donations, and grants. ASU does offer the Changemaker Action Grant, so if your organization is interested in that, please check the resource page for more information. If your organization needs any assistance finding funding, please have them reach out to our office, and we do offer a fundraising workshop. Throughout the year, we do promote several different ways for student organizations to get engaged in the ASU community. This timeline shows some of the major events that happen throughout the year. Make sure to consider how your organization may want to be involved with some of these events. We want all of our student organizations to provide an environment that is inclusive of students from all backgrounds. We encourage you to consider how your organization can contribute to the mission of the university and expand your diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. There are several different trainings shown here that you can request for your organization or for your department to learn more about how you can confront biases and create welcoming spaces for all students. These resources will be included on the resource document in the Canvas page. Our offices host multiple opportunities for advisors and officers to learn about different skills and ways that they can expand their organizations. Please check this link for a full list of our trainings that will be updated throughout the year. You can contact us at tempeclubs@asu.edu or by phone at 480-965-9665. Our offices are located on the 3rd floor of the Memorial Union, but feel free to reach out to us directly if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to set up a meeting. Now that you've completed this training, you will need to answer the quiz questions in this module in order to complete the training. Please be aware that you have 2 opportunities